like a Hellcat.
Before we get started, I have a favor. If you enjoy my content and want to see me continue to improve in both quality and size, please check out my Patreon linked in the description. Any amount helps and it is greatly appreciated. There are so many rewards for each level of donation, so go check it out. Now back to the video. Hey guys, this is Untitled Avenger, and as promised, we actually got a new experimental patch today, and this one includes the Genji changes and the Moira changes. The Moira changes are kind of ridiculous. It's a full-fledged rework for Moira, and I apologize, I'm having to talk loud. My family is being loud, as always, whenever I try to record. But yes, so Genji and Moira are being changed, and Moira's is basically a rework. So let's go ahead and hop right into the patch notes, and I'll go to the training range to show it off, and then yeah, I'm trying to talk louder than Caleb because Caleb doesn't know how to be quiet. Recent Genji buffs made him see a lot more play. This is great to see, but some of these changes push him a bit too far. We're pulling back some of these changes specifically with the goal of reducing some of his burst potential, and we'll keep a further eye on him to make sure he lands in a good spot. So Shuriken damage has been reduced from 30 to 28, and recovery has been increased from 0.65 to 0.75 seconds. Good changes overall, but I'll show you that when we get in there. Moira! Ooh, this is a lot of changes. The main goal of Moira's changes is to give Moira players a chance to make big plays and flex their player skill. Biotic Orb damage is now generally harder to hit all enemies in large areas, but will now reward well-aimed shots with significantly increased damage. The Fade changes is intended to directly offer Moira players a chance to make big plays and potentially turn a fight around single-handedly if used well. For example, Moira can now fade allies to save them against an ultimate, a big ultimate such as self-destruct, graviton surge, made to get her out pin, stuff like that. So yeah, changes are Biotic Grasp. The damage, the angle that it can reach from has been reduced by 37%, which is quite a bit. So it's now a smaller, tighter angle, which she can pull from, which is better. It's really good. Fade is short, so we'll go to the next. Now phases out all allies within the 6 meters and self for 1 second after exiting Fade. Phasing makes heroes immune to all damage and effects. It will work exactly like Reaper's Wraith form and Moira's own Fade effect in this regard. I like this. Now, I'll talk about my criticisms on this once we get in there, but overall I think it's good. Damage Orb. Damage radius reduced from 4 meters to 3 meters. Projectile slow amount after a target is found increases, so it slows down even more from 72.5% to 80%. Damage per second now scales with the distance. Between 0 and 1 meters, it's 150 damage per second. Between 1 and 3 meters, scales linearly down from 150 to 25 per second. Originally, it did 50 damage flat, so yeah. Total potential damage is unchanged, 200. So, let us hop into game browser. Create one. Okay, here it is. I found it. Okay, so let's hop into this. We'll show off the Genji one since that's easy. I actually entirely agree with the Genji changes. He was a little too powerful. Of course, I'm just a trash Genji player, so I'm never going to get anything good out of him. But he was dominating in a lot of situations. So now he takes him longer to recover, which I like. It feels a lot slower than just 0.1 seconds longer, but he just does less damage overall. Like, I believe he could really close to just one volley would kill in his old version. Now it can't. So, yeah. It's a really good change. Not much I can say on that. I don't have any complaints. Most people don't have any complaints. Most people actually like it. Even some Genji mains that I've heard on Instagram like these changes. But that's not the big thing. The big thing is Moira. Where's she at? So, first started with her grasp. Her grasp... Now, basically, you have to be looking at their hitbox for the most part. You have to be like really close to the hitbox. Originally, you could probably hit it out to about right here. Now, I have to be a lot closer, about like right here. I'm glad this change made through. I actually really like this change. It works great for her. So yeah. Yeah, nothing I can say to that. I think that's good. Makes her a lot more skillful. Thing about this though is Fade now. Her and allies are now faded temporarily for 1 second after the ability is over, which is really good. All within a 6-meter radius, and also you will see a very faint ring effect of where it will reach at max. People are complaining about this, actually saying that it's overpowered, and I can see because of its low cooldown how it would be overpowered. But outside of that, I think it's really good. I think this, I mean, people are saying, oh, it's overpowered. It's basically making her way too overpowered, making her like Brig. But then they don't consider like Baptiste apparently, because somebody made the comment and the person was like, I didn't even consider that it's like Baptiste a little bit with his ability to just prevent people from dying, and this can prevent people from dying. This can work like sort of like a secondary immortality field almost, because it can just straight up save them from like death. Was I too far away or something? What the heck happened? It didn't do anything. That was really weird. Let's try that again. There it goes. So it's not that long of range, but yeah, I actually really like this change. I would say with this change, increase the fade cooldown by 1 or 2 seconds. If it does go to live, that'll be likely what happens. Just increase it by 1 or 2 seconds, and I think it should be good. Outside of that, I think it's a really good change. It's a really good new passive, even though there's not enough of it for it to be called a passive. I guess you could call it a passive if you wanted to, but there's not enough to it to call it a passive, so I don't know. But let's just do it one more time. Oh, only one of them was affected. Okay. The next one is to the Biotic Orb. People are also complaining about this because it does so much damage. It's saying this slow effect will allow it to stay on targets for longer. But there's so much to this that I think people are just looking past. So, it does the 150 damage per second to players whenever they're within 1 meter, which, unless they are staying still or moving really slow, they will either walk past it or it will fly past them. That 1 meter isn't a lot. Like 1 meter is literally like this is 10 meter difference. 1 meter is like right here. It's probably not even that. It's probably like close to like right here. If you're this far from the orb, you're taking less than 150 damage per second. That's the thing that I don't see a lot of people understanding. Like, he was taking that max damage for less than like 1/4 of a second just then, because of how fast these bots move. Because it moves slow. It moves really slow. The part of the changes were designed to make it to where she can't have it chase people, because it slows more, meaning that it just chases slower. Because if you can, since you can outrun it, as long as you're staying ahead of it, you're fine. I did not mean to hit my mic just then. But it means that you're fine. As long as you're staying ahead of it, you are entirely fine. There's that change, and there's the damage change, which the damage change isn't bad. I legit don't see a problem with the damage change. I'm not sure why other people see problem with the damage change. I don't see a lot of problems with this thing. It makes it where she requires more skill. Someone's like, you need to stop making making the characters easy. I'm like, they just made her like twice as hard. Like the main thing that people abuse about her kit, they just made like double as hard. I just see it rip through his health when it was close to him. But it makes it to where you get a much more of a reward if you play smart with the ability. If you precisely aim the ability, you will get so much more out of it, because it will do the 150 damage when it gets close. I just don't understand people's complaints. I understand their complaints about Fade, and like I said, if they were to, you know, increase its cooldown by 1 second, I think it would be fine. I just don't see the problem. I really don't see the problem. I think this is a great rework to Moira. I hope at least most of this with some tweaks, like I said, the cooldown, make it alive, because overall it's just really good. I really don't have a complaints about it. But what do you guys think about these changes, this mini rework? I will do like a full, like, I'll play gameplay later. I kind of am running on a deadline. Have to be off in like 3 minutes because my dad is having to use all the internet in the house for some reason. I'll have a full gameplay thing tomorrow of me playing several games, three or so games. trying out Moira. Definitely not Genji, because Genji doesn't be tried out because Genji's overpowered. And this Moira changes in a similar vein to the Roadhog change that came with that one experimental card. So yeah. What do you guys think? Feel free to tell me in the comment section down below. As always, thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Follow my socials. Keep it the channel. Go to the Discord. Join the conversation on Patreon if you feel like supporting me. It's Untitled Avenger. Have a nice day. Stay safe. Until the next one. Peace out. Hey, Genji, stop playing. We feel good at it.